Alright, Math 1, function operations. So, we are looking at some functions and we're going to add, subtract, multiply, and divide them with and without numbers. Now, on these first ones, 1 through 8, 1 through 8, notice that we are given the input. So they actually want us to figure it out for a number. Now, there's two ways that they like to write this. They can write it like this or like that. Okay, basically means the same thing. We're adding the function g to f, and then we want to know, given an input of -8, what our output is. Okay, same over here. An input of g, the function g, plus the input of function h, what output does that give us when we add them together? Alright, so there's two different ways that we can deal with these. Okay, the first one is we can try to add our functions together first, then apply the input, or we can apply the input and then add the outputs. I'll show you both. So the first way, we have g of n right here, so that's 2n plus 5, then plus the function f, which is n squared plus 5n. So now we look for like terms. Remember, like terms they have the same variable raised to the same power. So n squared is a different variable. Well, not a different variable, a different term than 2n and 5n. And 2 plus 5 would give us 7n plus 5. Okay, so there's our functions added together. Then we apply the input. So anywhere there's an n, we make that a -8. So -8 squared plus 7 times -8 plus 5. -8 squared is positive 64. 7 times -8 is -56, plus 5, following order of operations, start at the left. 64 minus 56 would be 8. 8 plus 5 would give us 13. So when we take the two functions g plus f at -8, the output is 13. Okay, so that's one way you could do it. The other way would be to treat these separately. So I'd go g of 8, which would equal 2 times 8 plus 5. Okay, 2 times 8 would be 16, plus 5 would give us 21. Then I go f of 8, and then it's n squared, so I'd go 8 squared plus 5 times 8. Oh, these are supposed to be -8s, huh? Dang it. Why didn't you guys tell me? So that would be 64 plus a -40, which would equal 24, right? This one, -16 plus 5 would be -11. Then we add them. So I go -11 plus 24, which gives us a positive 13. So you get the same answer. There's just two different ways to do it. And it's really up to you which way you choose to do it. Okay? Alright, so I'll do it in various different ways each time. Okay, number 2. This one is minus, so I honestly think it's easier to find them separately. So I'd go f of 3, and then I would go g of 3, and then I would subtract them. So a minus 1, so that would be 3 minus 1. A squared minus 1 would be 3 squared minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. 3 squared is 9. 9 minus 1 is 8. So the f is first, so I'd go 2 minus the g, which is 8, which gives me -6. Okay? So number 3. This one, let's do g of 0, and then f of 0. So g of 0, 3x minus 5, 3 times 0 minus 5, 3 times 0 is 0 minus 5, gives me -5, so g is -5 times f of 0, -2x plus 1, -2 times 0 plus 1, -2 times 0 is 0, plus 1 is 1, so f would be 1, -5 times 1 is -5, and there's my answer. Okay, now number 4, another addition. This one has multiple pieces right here, so I'm going to do it the same way that I've done the others. So g of 2 equals n plus 1, so 2 plus 1. so equals 3. So g of 2 is 3 plus, now what's h of 2? So h of 2 would equal 2 cubed minus 5 times 2 squared plus 2 times 2. So 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2, so that's 8. Minus 2 squared is 4, 5 times 4 is 20, plus 2 times 2 is 4. So 8 minus 20 would be negative 12, plus 4 would be negative 8. So we get 3 plus negative 8, because that's our h of 2, and that would give us negative 5. Okay, now if we look at number 5 and number 6, this means division, this also means division. So we're going to divide these. So this one honestly works really well to put the numbers in, but let me show you if we tried to combine these. So g is on top, so I'd go x minus 1 divided by h of x, so negative 2x squared plus 5. Now, we really can't do anything else to this. We could, in some cases, simplify things to cancel stuff out, but in this case we can't, so we just change the x's to 8. 8 minus 1 over negative 2 times 8 squared plus 5. So 8 minus 1 gives us 7 over 8 squared is 64 times negative 2 is negative 128 plus 5 would give us negative 123. So negative 123, 7 divided by negative 123. Now, can we reduce by 7s? Can 7 go into 123? Nope, it can't. So we have to leave our answer right there, negative 7 over 123. Now on 7, we can also treat them separately and then divide. So I can go h of 7 equals 2 times 7 plus 5, right? Replace the t with 7. So that's 14 plus 5 gives us 19. So h of 7 is 19 divided by, then we do g of 7. So g of 7 would be 3 times 7 squared minus 1 minus 2 times 7. 7 squared is 49. 3 times 49 is 7 to 12, 147. Minus 1 minus 2 times 7, which is 14. So 146 minus 14 would give us 132. So 19 divided by 132, whatever that would give us. So I could use a calculator, figure that out, and I get like 0.1439393939. So 0.1439, and the 39 is repeated. Okay, so two different ways to do them. Alright, so now 6 and 8. So 6, let's combine the functions first, and then we'll apply it. So it's subtraction. So g, which is t squared minus 5t, minus this whole function. So put the whole function in parentheses, because that negative applies to both. So instead of just minus 2t plus 2, it's actually minus 2t minus 2. Okay? Then, like terms, t squared, negative 5, negative 2, negative 7t minus 2. Then we apply the negative 7. So we'd go negative 7 squared minus 7 times negative 7 minus 2. Negative 7 squared is 49. Negative 7 times negative 7 is positive 49 minus 2. 49 and 49 makes 80. 98 minus 2 gives us 96 for our answer. Okay, and then number 8, timesing them. Now, if we decided to go 2x minus 2 times x cubed minus 3x, what we end up doing is called distribution, and we can use this fancy method to do it, because this 2x has to be multiplied by x cubed and negative 3x. So 2 is 2x times x cubed, that gives us 4x's. And then 2x times negative 3 would be negative 6, and 2x's, so x squared. Then this piece has to multiply by each of them as well. So negative 2 times x cubed is negative 2x cubed. Negative 2 times negative 3x is a positive 6x. So I get 2x to the fourth minus 2x cubed minus 6x squared plus 6x. Okay, so it might have been easier to take these separately like we did up here. But I plug a 3 in, so 2 times 3 to the fourth minus 2 times 3 cubed minus 6 times 3 squared plus 6 times 3. So we've got 18 plus 3 squared is 9. 9 times negative 6, negative 54. 3 cubed is 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27, times negative 2 is a negative 54 again. Okay, then 3 to the fourth would be 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. So it would be basically 3 cubed was 27, so times 3 again, and we get 81, times that by 2, we get 162. So then I go 162 minus 54 plus 18 to get 72 for my answer. Okay? Alright, now on these last ones, we're actually, because it has a variable in for the input, we're just going to combine them. Okay? And we don't, that's where we stop. We just combine the functions, and that's where we stop. So number 9, f of n would be 4n minus 4. And whenever you do a minus, remember that affects the whole thing. So minus 3n squared minus 1. So that minus applies to both of them. So we get 4n minus 4 minus 3n squared plus 1, because a negative negative is a positive. Combine like terms, there's no other of these, so negative 3n squared. There's no other, just n's plus 4n. Negative 4 plus 1 gives us negative 3. That's all it wants us to do, is to go to that point. Okay, so 12 is another minus, so we do the same thing. So x squared plus 2 minus this whole thing, 2x plus 5. We apply the negative to both. X squared plus 2 minus 2x minus 5. There's no other x squared, so I go x squared. No other 2x, negative 2x. Can't combine those two because they have different powers. And then a positive 2 and negative 5 gives us a negative 3. And there's our answer for 12. Okay, we have one more minus over here. So gx is x squared minus 5x minus x minus 4. That negative applies to both. So x squared minus 5x minus x plus 4. 1x and 5x gives us x squared minus 6x plus 4. And there's my answer. Okay? So minuses can be difficult in that way. Same with division. Okay? So we put the top x squared minus 1 over the bottom g of x, which is x minus 1. Okay? Now, you guys would probably want to leave it like that. Technically, there's a rule that we can expand that out, and it becomes x plus 1 times x minus 1 over x minus 1. And the x minus 1's cancel, and we end up with x plus 1. But you don't need to know that yet. So all you need to do is set it up like that. Okay? Now, the addition is pretty simple. So we just add them together. So 2x minus 4 plus x cubed plus 4x. Combine like terms, no other x cubed, so we get x cubed. There is a 4 and a 2x, which make it positive 6x, and then minus 4. For 11, we've got negative 2n squared plus 5 plus g, which is 2n minus 3. No other squares, so negative 2n squared. No other n's, so plus 2n. 5 minus 3 plus 2. And there we go. Okay, 14, same idea. Okay, g is n squared plus 2 plus h, which is 3n minus 5. No other n squared, so n squared. No other 3n, so plus 3n. 2 minus 5 minus 3. Okay, now 16 is that multiplication. So we've got 4n plus 2 times 2n plus 2. So because 4n needs to times by both of those, it's easy to make this box and go 4n right here times 2n times 2, and because 2 needs to do the same, okay, then we multiply each one together. So 2 times 4 is 8, n times n squared. 2 times 2 is 4 with an n. 4n times 2, 4 times 2 is 8 with an n. 2 times 2 is 4. Then combine the like terms. There's no other squared, so 8n squared. There's a 4n and an 8n, so it becomes 12n. And then there's a 4, so plus 4. Alright, and there we go, guys.